Hey there, this is Tim, and along with my partner Kelly, we're Paragon Partners. And in this video, I'm going to go over my last 30 eBay sales. Actually, I got a bit more this time. It's about 40. So I just had a bunch of recent sales, so I'm going to put them all together. If you've been following me, you know that I'm up from my low peak. I hit a low of about 13,000 a couple days ago, and now I'm up to 14,000. I sold a couple of good expensive items, which have brought it up recently. Here's one of them. So I've been selling a couple things on consignment for a friend. And he's got some good electronics. One of the problems is that a lot of people, they ask technical questions on these, which either take research or they're difficult to answer. So it does take some work to sell these. This is more than listing it. I did get the full $30 on this video camera. It was refurbished, and it also came with a memory chip and the battery charger, so that helped the price. And typically on these, I get in the $25 to $35 range. I explained before, when I obtain these myself, I usually look to get them for about $5, and because they have a higher return rate, they're a bit more complex. I bought this for $1, and I kind of thought I'd actually get a little more for it. This was a historic banner of the Oddfellows, so I thought this was a nice little oddity. I don't know. I was thinking I would hit like $20 to $30 on this. And it was from the early 1900s as well. You can see I hit $8, but still only spent $1 on it, so not too bad. So I've been selling a bunch of Harley parts, and now I'm done to my nubs. And this is just a simple little plate cover that I had of Harley. And all the Harley parts I have left, they didn't go for $10 auctions, so I've been selling them now at 99-cent auctions just to clear them out. And the bid finally took off a bit. This came at an auction. There was an end of table leftover. So I got it for just a couple of bucks, and I got it for $10. Since it's pneumatic, I thought I'd get a little more out of it, but I still made money. Now, on these telephones, I kind of go hot and cold on these phone sets. I bought this one at the thrift store at 50% off sale, and I probably spent like $3 to $4 on it. Listed for $15. It didn't take off that price for 2 months, so my partner lowered it by 30%, and then it finally sold. Sometimes these go really fast, sometimes they don't. I watched another eBay seller, and what he does is he takes out the batteries, he replaces them with new batteries, and then he advertises them, and he says that they do pretty well at that point. So perhaps it's good advice for me. I got both of these at a local auction. I spent a couple of bucks each. They were new, and when I got them, they were still in the package with the $20 price tag from Kmart. So they weren't really exceptional. Now, I bought this from a local buyer, and I spent like $3, and we actually sold it for about $18. The 24 is near the store price of it. And people that were looking for a good dollar value on it, and I was happy with that sale. Now, I bought a bunch of bedsheet sets for $5 each. I bought actually about 10 of them. They were still all brand new, and I've noticed the name brand ones are going faster. I wish I could put these on Amazon, but none of them were available. And plus, the category is gated for me. So I took a $40 bid on this one, and for the $5, I'm happy. Now, I bought this one for $12, and I sold it for $37. And it was a bit smaller. It didn't go for as much as I want, but I recognize Le Creuset as an upper-end cookware. And plus, it was brand new, open out of box. So with $10 shipping and handling, I still made money on it. Now, this I sold for a friend. It was a 2009, I believe, Apple, no hard drive, just base only. So I put it up for $150, and that's what I got out of it. What's interesting is this actually sold through eBay's global shipping program. The person's name was Reverend, and so who knows what that's about? But somebody in some foreign country is going to get an Apple with no hard drive. Now, this is another one I sold on consignment for the same friend. I didn't sell it with the screen. And you can see this is one of the better sellers we had. Again, no hard drive. And one of the more difficult things with selling these is looking up the technical specs on the computer. There's people that want to know the memory, the speed of the memory, the chip, speed of the chip. They want to know about the video card ports, things like that. And so getting those details right actually takes a bit of work. These I sold for $75 on a best offer. And normally these car speakers, I haven't done so well because what happens is you see the box, but what somebody does is they buy the new speakers, they take out their old crappy speakers and they put them in the box, and so it's really easy to think that these old crappy speakers are the great speakers in the box. So I'm a lot more careful on these now. I sold this one for $35. This was the same consignment for a friend, and I've been doing pretty well on these Bosch rechargeables. This one I was surprised on. I got the full $13.99 asking price. It's a really cool old Fuller Brush catalog. I was at this auction. There's a stack of magazines that didn't sell, and the auctioneer he gave me the whole stack. They're like 5 stacks, and he was asking $10, and nobody took them. So he gave me all 5 stacks for $3. So I've been going through the stacks, and this is it. In one of them, and this by itself made its money. Now, of course, there are a lot of other beater magazines in there which I can't sell, but this is probably the best one out of the lot. Here's another sheet set that I got for $5, and this also went for $40. And of course, the brand name Eddie Bauer, so that helped it. Oh God, this one I've been kicking around in my shop, stubbing my toe on it for about 2 months. I'm glad it finally went. So we got a $320 offer on it, and I said sold. I took it right away. And this thing's been a bear. I bought this for $35, and I'm not real familiar with it. It takes out the water out of diesel gas, and it's used in marine applications. And man, this was also a bear to pack. It had some general items on both ends, so I essentially had to box it within another box. And it took over an hour just to do the complete boxing on this. And when it actually went into the post office, it hit 70 pounds exactly, which is the exact maximum that you can ship any weight for parcel post. So I got real lucky on this one. Man, I was glad to get this out, though. This is another one I was surprised on. This is another end of auction leftover. It's just some rain gear. So I thought, why not? I'll put it up. And I got the full $20 asking price on it. And this rain gear, new. The full set's like $40, so I wasn't complaining. This one we did pretty good on. This came from the same friend that he gave to me to sell on consignment. And anything with boys on it, of course, does well. So I'll take it in a heartbeat. Here's another Bose speakers. I've actually done better on Bose speakers before. I've gotten the $70 to $100 range on speakers. So I believe this was in the lower end. This Apple keyboard, we took a $20 bid on it. Unfortunately, the buyer, he kept on flaking out on me. He didn't pay right away, and then he needed to change the address. And so it took me about 5 days to get this out, but I finally did. These, I'm a little surprised I didn't get better prices on. There were 2 of them that were wireless, and I've seen these wireless Xbox controllers go for $19.99 each in previous auctions. And these game controllers, the aftermarket ones, people don't want them. They want the named ones. And I've sold these for more, so I was a little disappointed that I only got less than $18 for both of them. One was brand new in the box. This one, same consigner. This was a Wi-Fi model, and since it was Apple, we always do good on Apple products. A Logitech mouse. Now, we get a lot of these mouses, but they never have the receiver, the USB receiver in them. This one finally did. And since it's a thumb screw, it's a little more attractive. I actually expected this one to go for around the $15 range instead. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I've sold a bunch of these. This is finally the last one that I had available that we sold. And we've been selling these consistently for $35. This came off a big surplus lot that my partner picked out. He picked it up for some other parts, but this was a nice component of it. This my partner gave me. This came out of his storage locker, an old Apple Newton. And if you go back to the 1990s when handwriting recognition was just coming out, this was on the very first one of them. And we took a $15 bid on it, and this is just kind of cool for retro purposes. Now these I bought at an auction, I think for $5, and they get 20. I may have undersold them actually, but one of the reasons that hurt the value is because they were generic without any names, and so you don't know what model car that they go on, and without that, that reduced the value. And plus they're a little dented and creamed up too, so maybe I could have gotten 30 if I would have waited, but still I bought them for $5, so I'm not complaining. Let's see. So these headlights, I bought a bunch of these, and I actually thought I would do better. This is the first one I've sold, and they appear to be slow sellers. And I'm a little surprised. I thought I'd be selling 2 to 3 a week. Instead, I'm selling like one every 2 to 3 weeks. And they take a long time to list, too, because first you have to clean it up, and then all you have is the model number on these, if that. So it takes a lot of research to properly list as well. So I'm not sure if I'll get another batch of these. That said, I do have other ones that are in the $70 to $90 range. Now this is kind of interesting. This came out of another surplus lot. These were old fuse transformers that were on a car ferry. And who knows how they were used or what they were used for. I took a $20 bid, and actually I underweight it. Together they're about 30 pounds, so I wish I would have asked a bit more in the shipping. It was just so unique, and just kind of wanted to get rid of them, so I took the $20 bid. These we had two of. They weren't selling at 20. My partner, after 2 months, he lowered it, and we were able to move both of these. And again, these were sold on consignment. Let's see. These we took a $750 bid on, and we didn't notice when we lowered the price, we forgot to update the shipping. Before we had a bigger price to cover the cost of the shipping. We lowered the price. We should have added the shipping, but we didn't. So I sold it for $750 with shipping included. So I actually lost a couple of bucks on this deal, which was a bummer. Here's another item we sold on consignment for our friend. We got the full 50 out of it, and we're happy with that price. This one we took a $15 bid on. These reciprocating saws don't seem to do as well. I thought because it was a Craftsman, it was fairly new. It looked good that we do a bit better on, but nah, the money just wasn't there. And plus it had no battery either. This we took a $35 bid on, and it didn't have a power supply. But as soon as I listed it, I got a response within about 2 hours. So this is one of my faster flips. And typically when people buy things like that, it's because they already have the unit, but it's busted. So they have all the accessories that go with it. They just need to go ahead and replace the unit itself. These, if you've been following me, you know I talked about I bought a big lot from some Russian guy who's an eBay seller. I bought out his lot. And he had a bunch of digital music players. And I haven't been able to test them. And there are just too many to list individually. So I've been loading them up by group and sell them together in batches. And this is one of the batches. So I'm happy with the price we got on this one. This one, so on. We actually took a $35 bid on it. So I bought these for, I think, $2 to $3 each, 15. So I think I spent about $30. So I didn't make a lot of money. And as soon as I bought them, I had a local offer for $75, but the guy never came through. And when I looked these up, they're sellable on Amazon, so far I wasn't able to get them on there because it's in the toy category. And they're selling for $5 to $10 each. So I thought, I'll do all right. But the money wasn't, or that avenue wasn't open to me. So, I made a little money, but not the multiple that I liked on the slot. This was another workstation that we sold on consignment. If you remember previously in this video, I covered one that was more expensive. This was a lesser model of it. And again, this took a lot of attention to detail to get it listed right and answer everybody's technical questions on it. And again, no hard drive. This one, let's see, we took a $15 bid on it. This is some old toy that we've had around for about 2 months, so I was just glad that it finally moved. Now, these were 2 old bows, no strings, and I sold them both for $20. And I spent $10 on them. And plus, by the time I get all the wrapping done, because they're so long and awkward, I'm not going to be making that much money on them. Now, I overbought these. I sold them for $12. I actually bought all these boxes for $9. Now, you'll look at these and you think it's the actual units. No, it's just the boxes by themselves. Empty boxes with all the cartons and paddings, but none of the Apple products, so don't get excited. People still want these boxes though, and I sold them for $12, but I paid $15, so I took a little bit of a loss on this one. Again, here's one more of those items that we sold on consignment. We didn't have any power cords or power to go with it, so that hurt. And this one did take about 10 weeks for it to sell. These name badges, I thought I'd actually do more. I've seen other eBay sellers, they can get $10 to $20 a badge or more on the really desirable cars. I had them up there. They weren't selling, and finally, as our last attempt, put it at 99 cents, and we finally got one bid, so not a big seller. Here's another one that we sold for 99 cents after all other avenues fail. It was just some power adapter for a notebook. Here's my last one. Another badge. I thought because it's Cadillac, it will do better. But nobody wanted it. And maybe it's because it was just a script instead of the symbol that wasn't as recognizable. But you see, I only got a 1.99 bid on it. All right, that's the end. You hear this in every video. Please be sure and like, subscribe, and leave us a comment, and we very much appreciate it. See you next video.